2.5 miles into my 5-mile run. Heart rate's sitting at a 132, and I'm just thinking about, there's a song I've been listening to. It's called Something Has to Break, and just talking about our relationship with Jesus, and at least my interpretation of it is our relationship with Jesus, and as we want to deepen that relationship, pieces of us has to break. Bad habits, negative mindsets, those things have to break in order for us to get closer. And some of those things are things that He will break for us. But I think a lot of that also just carries over into everyday life and wanting to get better, wanting to become more disciplined. Our mindsets and the way we're wired initially won't get us there. It'll actually dig us into a deeper hole. And so something has to break. A bad habit has to get tossed in the trash for you to make room for your new self. Sleeping in until 8, 10 a.m. has to get tossed in the trash. Being comfortable all the time has to get tossed in the trash. And I think that's such a good reminder, knowing that every day when you wake up, you're not supposed to want to do it. There's rarely a day I wake up at 5:30, my eyes open, and I'm ready to get to work. There's very few times I think about the verse in the Bible that talks about denying one's flesh. And yes, I think I must deny my flesh to be more like Jesus. But man, I gotta deny my flesh to get better in this world. We're wired to want everything so easy, and that's just not the way it is. Good thoughts. Sitting at just under 3 miles, 140 heart rate, hitting this hill. Time to shut up, get back to work. Just crushed the 5 miles. The loop that we just moved into a new house. So I've been running around here. Got a good 5-mile loop. A little bit of elevation, kind of up and down. Towards the last half, it is a decent bit of downhill, which I think is why I'm able to run a little faster with my heart rate still being pretty low. Yeah, average pace was 9:45, which is really good for me. Average heart rate 141, so almost zone 2 most of the time, peaking into zone 3 I think for 18 minutes. So all in all, super good. This is definitely one of the faster routes I do. I definitely am getting faster. My heart's just getting stronger and more efficient. But like I said, this loop is a little bit faster in my opinion. The 2 times that I have ran it, I've been running way faster at a way lower heart rate. So, but I think overall, my just heart and efficiency is getting a lot better, which has been really cool to see. I'm excited for the cooler weather to start happening because I think I'll see a lot of improvement then. Obviously here in Texas, right now it's hot all the time. Even getting up and starting to run at like 6:30, it's just hot. So, which is great when January comes around because I think I'm going to be a lot faster than I think. So I'm really, really excited for that and just to have some cooler weather. But solid run. Today's Tuesday. Don't have much else planned for today. Tomorrow, I think I'm either going to do a easy 2 miles with a run club that I go to, and I might pair it with a swim or a bike. Also, just very chill. Probably would be definitely zone 2. But yeah, good solid workout today. Got some sprints in yesterday. I don't know if I got any footage of me running yesterday, but I did a mile warm-up, and then I did 6 800s at around a 6-minute to 6:30 minute pace, so pretty fast, and then a mile cool down. So I think total it was 5 miles yesterday. I've gone back and forth whether speed work is good for ultra training, and I don't think it's really that important, to be honest, but
I think it is good to add it every couple weeks just to use different muscles that I'm not using when I'm running this slow, and to work on some VO2 max workouts and just increase how efficient my heart is. So I'm in my lungs. So that was good. I woke up with a great recovery today, so which is why I did the workout today. So pretty sweet. I'm going to probably make some breakfast here pretty soon and shower up and get out of these sweaty clothes. Carbs on carbs. Let's go. A little potato bacon, onions, avocados, sourdough toast. Got the electrolytes from all the sweat that I released. Let's go. This is how you breakfast. Normally I throw some eggs. Ran out of eggs this morning actually, so it is what it is. But post run carb load fuel, whatever you want to call it, that's how we do it. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. I don't have much planned for no running today. I just have either a zone 2 bike or swim. Like I said, I've been doing this just to lessen the impact on my legs, keep the aerobic endurance up, but I had shin splints a while ago, and so just trying to manage those and cross train a little bit. But I want to talk about, I've got stuck doom scrolling this morning, and the reason was because I went to bed undecided if I wanted to swim or bike this morning. I know it sounds silly, but I think I want to talk about the importance, especially when you're training for something like this, to make the plan before you go to sleep, especially for someone like me. I'm an indecisive person sometimes, and so having that decision and having to make it in the morning is too hard for me sometimes, especially when it's early. I'm tired. I would rather be in bed, just, sleeping. I just was thinking about it today. I'm like, man, I really got to just nail what I'm doing the next morning, the night before. Otherwise, this happens to me. I get stuck. I'm like, oh, if I go swim, then I have to do this. But if I bike, then I have to go find a spot to bike. And I just play these stupid games. And I just sat in bed doom scrolling, and that's not cool. So I've been trying to be in God's word more consistently. It's something that I really lack. I'm a believer, if y'all didn't know. And to me, I feel like if I'm training every day for a race, I need to be training spiritually for life. So that's something I am trying to get better at. And so I've actually just started working through the book of Ephesians. Don't ask me what it's fully about yet, because I read the first chapter yesterday. But my dad was telling me about it, and just so there's a lot of good stuff that you can use in life, practical, wisdom to get from that book. So that's what I'm going to read before I go train. I'm going to go swim. That's what I'm going to do. I haven't swam in a couple. I did a 15-miler bike ride on Sunday as an active recovery day. So I'm going to go swim. I'm making up my mind right now. I'm going to read. I'm going to throw some carbs down and some fuel, and then actually I'm going to make that now, and then read, and then I'm going to go swim. Normally I try to do a good amount of carbs before workouts. Swimming, I don't know, maybe this is my fault. I feel like I don't need as many carbs. My heart rate's going to be a lot lower. Maybe this is like a lack of knowledge, but I feel like I'm not working that hard when I'm swimming. I don't know. But I've been getting these from Trader Joe's. They are prepped overnight oats. I really like them. I think they're like maybe $1.50 a piece. But the one that I like has 42 grams of carbs. Super easy to eat in the morning. That's something I'm really big on, is like, yes, getting supplements, I don't need the electrolytes. I don't need G1M Sport or like an electrolyte carb mix, but they're convenient, and convenience is something that's really important, especially when you're getting up early in the morning. I don't want to have to make something, or I don't really want to have to eat a whole lot. So it's just convenient, and I'm willing to pay for convenience, to be honest. So 42 grams of carbs in this. This is an apple flavor, so it has like apple chunks in it. Super good. I'm gonna eat these, and then I'm just gonna do electrolytes this morning. So I've been on the BPN electrolytes, and I'm not. I didn't want to be one of those people that was like all BPN products. I've been on regular electrolytes for a very long time. Been cycling through a bunch of them, and I was at the store and I saw their electrolytes. Never even thought about buying them, and then it was $30 for 50 servings, which is a great deal, and it's way more sodium than the electrolytes I was getting. So I think they're actually really good. Salted watermelon electrolytes normally is my favorite, so I've actually really been liking these. The G1M Sport and G1M Sport Plus, in my opinion, are bonus. You don't need those. You can easily find something that's cheaper. Like I said, they're convenient. G1M Sport Plus is pretty crazy. I really like the caffeine. I really like the nootropics and the mental focus it gives you. I personally really notice it, and I love that. If anything, I would just do G1M Sport Plus. The taste, honestly, is a little weird. It feels like, it gives you a little tingle in your throat. Not really my favorite, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna do these while I do my devotional or read, and then we'll change, hit the pool, and get a 30-45 minute pool session. I never really expected to fall in love with running the way I did. I really didn't run a whole lot before I started training for this, and I didn't really expect to just get so obsessed by it. And I think one of the biggest things that it's been an outlet for me to unplug, get off my phone, get outside, and just be in my thoughts. I think some of the best things in life are the things that are unexpected, and running for me has really been an escape to escape reality and allow myself to be consumed by my thoughts. But it's also been a way for me to build mental resilience. I think there's so many parallels with running and life, building a business. It's just any time that I start my day off with a run, it really just makes me thankful that I found running, or running found me. And it's been such a good way to just be in God's presence and His creation, and I feel like it's a time that I feel like He speaks to me and I'm able to speak to Him. And honestly, it just makes me so thankful to have a body that's capable of putting in the amount of miles that I have been able to put in. It just makes me so excited to see where running is going to continue to take me and the person it's going to shape me into. Saturday morning, heading to the trails to do my long run. I have a 12-mile run all on trail today. I've been slowly kind of easing into my long runs becoming on trail. For or the last couple of weeks, or I mean really since I started training, they've been just on a normal, like if you live in Austin, there's like a gravel trail, so super flat, but I'm actually transitioning to actual trail with, you know, rocky terrain. So I am doing that today. Definitely harder on the body. Last night I was at, one of my close friends is getting married, and I'm in his one of his groomsmen, and so last night we had the rehearsal for the wedding and then just kind of like a celebration dinner, and had a couple drinks. They went out after, and that's when I had to call it. And it's a tough decision to make when you're in situations like this. You know, he knows I support him, and it's just, yeah, it's one of those decisions where it's like, I knew if I did that, I was going to be absolutely cooked today. And I just don't really believe in like going out and drinking. It's just not, it's one thing if like, hey, we're going to go back to our place and, you know, play board games and just hang out. Like, totally different story, but to go out and do something like that, I'm just not that type of person, and it's just not what I just don't think that's a good thing, at least for me. I just don't, that's not my cup of tea. But all that to say, I did have 2 drinks last night because I was celebrating with him, and my recovery is absolutely garbage today. My resting heart rate was absolutely garbage, and now it's probably not gonna be a fun run today. I knew it wasn't gonna be a fun run, but it most definitely is not gonna be a fun run. We're gonna make it happen. We'll go as slow as we need to, and we're gonna get it done. 12 miles on the docket in the trail. It's not gonna be fun, it's not gonna be pretty, but it doesn't have to be. We just gotta get it done and have the wedding later today. So 12 miles, go home, probably just take a nap, to be honest. Take a nap and then go on about the day. Let's get it. In case y'all were wondering, still out here, still running, about to hit that 2-hour mark. The legs are feeling surprisingly good. Note to self, note to everybody, 2 frozen margaritas. It's not the ideal drink of choice before a 12-mile trail run. Mandatory. That was brutal. Let's go over these stats real quick. Finished up the run. That was not very fun. It was one of those runs where it took me so long to kind of like lock in. I think I didn't fully lock in until like mile 9, and everything else was just like, kept checking my watch, like, oh man, I'm only 5 miles in, I'm only 6 miles in. You know, it was just one of those runs. It sucked. I kept getting lost on the trail. I've been on this trail a handful of times, and I kept getting in points where like the trail was just like overgrown, and I would have to like go into the creek bed, and there was just no trail. And so it was just like a handful of times I had to walk just to get through in the spots. I literally just couldn't run. It was way too rocky, which was weird. Finally at like mile 6, I got back on the right path. But like I said, a little frustrating. But in total, also I was correct with my heart rate being a little bit higher this morning because of the poor recovery I had last night. My heart rate was just a little bit higher, trying to work, trying to help my body recover. So I had to go slower today, which was also just made everything go a lot slower. I did 13.27 miles. I was supposed to do 12 miles, and I ended up running a little extra. 12-minute pace, 12-minute and 8-second pace. Definitely on the slower side. I think normally I can get like high 10s, low 11s for something like this, but again, heart rate way higher. Average heart rate 151, again a little higher. 2 hours and 41 minutes was how long it took me. Like I said, some of the times I had to walk, I never paused the watch, I just kept it going the entire time. So that was 2,200 calories burned. Now I will say, I feel like I fueled pretty well. I did 3 gels, and I had 2 500 milliliter flasks with G1M Sport, which has, I think, 300 milligrams of sodium and 20 grams of carbs in each one. So each gel was 24, so 2, 4, 6, 72 grams of carbs through the gels, and then another 20, so that's 96, and then another 20, so 110 or something, 100 something, low hundreds of carbs, which I think was great. That was good. But yeah, all in all, solid run. I'm tired. 2,200 calories burned, so I'm gonna feast today. I'm gonna feast. I'm absolutely gonna feast. I'm probably gonna go get breakfast with the wife right now as well. And yeah, I'm very happy with this. Almost all of it was on the trail. Good kind of way to set the bar for the ultra in January. I would love to run faster than a 12-minute pace for that, and so I'd have to just do this and double it with a little bit extra, which obviously there'll be great aid stations for that. It'll be in January, cold, with the race environment, all that. So really excited for that. I'm gonna go inside and change, shower, and I need to go feast. That is going to wrap up this week's training for the Ultramarathon. I'm just going to go over a couple of stats for my Strava for the week, kind of go over everything I did, and yeah, I'll leave it with that. But this week, 35.81 miles ran, around 6 hours of total time with 1,300 feet of elevation, which is as good as you get here in Austin. I think I ran 5 days this week. I actually did a couple extra miles. I think Friday I wasn't really supposed to run a whole lot, and I went to one of the run clubs that I go to. But other than that, I think that is it. So very solid week. The legs feel very good. Shin splints are non-existent still, which is a big plus. So I think this next week, I think I hit another mid-30s. At least another 30-mile week, so I think I'm slowly ramping up into the 40s, which should be sweet. All in all, very good week. I made the time for everything, even being a busy week, which I'm happy about. And yeah, very solid week. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you also want to keep up with me more, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll have the link down below. And then if you are a runner as well and you are on Strava, feel free to add me as well. Just Tanner McCartney, and you will see me. The bio has the race I'm training for and location, Austin, Texas. So we will see y'all this coming week for another week, going into week 14 of training. So super pumped for it. All in all, a fantastic week. Not a ton of highlights or like lowlights. It was just very solid, very consistent. I think I'm going to try to take this momentum into next week. I did a really good job this week of getting up early and getting my runs in, which was something I was struggling with in the past couple weeks. So I'm going to try to keep that momentum going and make sure I am stretching more this week. That's what I need to do. But other than that, it was a great week. We will see you on the next one. I hope y'all enjoyed. Peace.